Hello, I'm Steve Hand. Welcome back to my series called Self-Improvement for Normal People. Today's video will be about identifying serious psychiatric disorders and knowing when to get professional help. So this previous videos we talked about the relationship between thinking, feeling, and doing. We identified some irrational thinking. I taught you about how to think in a more rational manner. We talked about relationships, including domestic violence. In my last few videos, I talked about self-esteem and overcoming anxiety. So this video will be about what if self-help doesn't seem to be enough? What if you're still having some significant symptoms? That's what we're going to address today. So how can you tell if you're having a serious psychological problem? Well, generally ask yourself, how am I functioning? Am I effective in different areas of my life, such as job or school, family relationships, social relationships, taking care of myself, managing my feelings, managing my health, all these things, managing my money, things that are very important to functioning for a person. And it's hard to see objectively. So sometimes it pays to talk to someone that you trust and ask them what they think. Get some feedback from someone you're close to. But you're going to have to make that decision for yourself ultimately. Ask yourself how your moods are. Pay close attention to that. Pay close attention to your thinking. Am I thinking clearly, or am I confused much of the time? All right. So I'll talk today about some of the most distressing or disturbing psychiatric symptoms. Just briefly, we're just skimming the surface here, but all in an attempt to get you to make a good decision to get professional help. Anxiety is one of the most distressing feelings you can have. You can't relax. You're not relaxed. You're trembling. You're scared much of the time. And even though you may do some of these self-help techniques, maybe you still have these symptoms. Okay? Panic attacks. Panic attacks are even more severe, where it really is out of your control in terms of the symptoms: heart racing, sweating, feeling like you're trapped or that you need to escape. Very severe. OCD symptoms, obsessive compulsive, feeling you must clean or check locks over and over again. Hoarding is a form of OCD. That can be very debilitating. Post-traumatic stress disorder. The symptoms might include nightmares, intrusive thoughts during the day, recurring thoughts of experiences in the past, startle response. And you can have that in response to various painful events in the past. But you could become preoccupied with that and unable to proceed. So that's very serious. Depression. Obviously, if you have suicidal thoughts, that's very, very serious, life-threatening. Inability to sleep or sleeping too much. Very poor appetite. Low energy level. So all these will interfere with your functioning, and you're not feeling good in terms of your moods. So bipolar disorder is also in the mood disorder category. If you have a manic state, it could ruin your life potentially, because you can make very bad decisions, including hurting yourself or hurting somebody else, spending excessive amounts of money. just making very poor decisions that could hurt you and or somebody else. Psychotic disorders may include schizophrenia, um, which is a break from reality contact. You might hear voices telling you to do something, or imagine that someone's talking to you. This is very disturbing to you. It's usually very negative. It's not usually a positive thing. It interferes with your functioning. Okay, delusions, which are beliefs that you have that cannot be true, or most likely not true, but those beliefs make you feel terrible and interfere with your happiness in life. So that might include even paranoid delusions, thinking that someone wants to hurt you or kill you or do something terrible to you. How can you be relaxed? How can you be happy if you feel that way? Okay, so very serious. These are very serious, and sometimes if you really believe it, and a person who has delusions really believes it, you don't know that it's a delusion. You think it's true. So it's good to get it checked out by a professional. So my main purpose in telling you this is that sometimes you cannot solve your own problems by yourself. So you want to recognize when it's serious and go to the right person for help. If you had a car problem, you would go to a mechanic. If you had a problem with your teeth, you'd go to a dentist. If you had a legal problem, you'd go to an attorney. If you have a problem with your thoughts, feelings, or behaviors, you would go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a counselor, or even your family doctor. And the family doctor is a good place to start because you're familiar with that person. That doctor usually knows you, and sometimes there are underlying medical conditions that could cause these psychiatric problems. So you want to rule out any physiological problems first. But don't be afraid to go to a counselor or a psychologist or a social worker. Be honest with the professional. Don't be defensive. Listen. Be open to new ideas. Don't think you know more than the professional. I guarantee you, if you're not a doctor, you don't know more about a person's body than the doctor. And that's how it is with these other professionals. I don't pretend I know more than my mechanic about my car. You have to trust the professional. Most doctors, most counselors, most psychologists and psychiatrists, they know what they're doing. And there are some exceptional ones who are, as we talked about the normal curve, they're at the tops and they're fantastic. And there probably are a few at the bottom that are not very effective. But most professionals will help you. Be honest with the professional. Everything is confidential in the mental health field. Okay? Don't be ashamed. It's normal to get help. It's good to get help. Do what's good for you. Okay? It's as if you're taking care of your child. You're taking care of yourself. So get help. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And follow the recommendations of the professional. Follow the recommendations. This is probably the biggest mistake people make. When a doctor prescribes a medication, don't think that you know how to take it better than the doctor. Follow the recommendations. Okay? So, write me comments, ask me questions. I'd be happy to answer them. If you like this video, click like, click subscribe. So Take care. I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.